Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and, well, everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. That's fanatics.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Discover our collection of handcrafted candles. That's right, every product is thoughtfully created in small batches free from harmful toxins for mindful everyday indulgence. Our candles are hand-poured in coconut soy wax with natural wood wicks, offering a long-lasting burn and rich fragrances. Create a cozy, safe ambiance for your home with candles from Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers use the promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
And hello, everybody. Welcome to Midnight Run here on the Inside Edge Network as we move along here in the month of June. Voted by some on this network as the best month of the year. We'll see about that. But like and subscribe at Inside Edge Net across all of our social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We are all over the place, and Twitch as well. InsideEdgeNetwork.com is where you need to go as well. We got a lot of cool stuff, including cups. We got cups for you. We got polos, Inside Edge Network gear. Shirts, gonna get something pretty soon, a workout shirt, things like that. A ton of things you can get on InsideEdgeNetwork.com. My name's Anthony Alford. Great to have you with us. My producer is Eli Moon. He'll be with you throughout the show. Eli's been putting in work. Thank you, Eli. We've been, as a network, we've been trying out some different things. Some things worked, some things didn't, and so here we are. We are back to the StreamYard and things like that. But I want to, and listen, this next hour, with you until 1, we got sports. We're going to talk about the quarterbacks because now, supposedly, there is a QB battle between Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson. Boy, how things change when you trade Myles Garrett. But did things really change at all? Has this always been the plan, or were some of us behind the 8 ball? We'll talk about that coming up in a little bit. We did not get into Jim Schwartz, what he had to say. We'll play his full comments coming up in segment number 2 of the show. And is it possible that the New York Knicks could sweep the San Antonio Spurs? Sweep. Could have happened. We'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. I have to quickly, before we get to the seriousness of what we do, I have to quickly... Okay, I'll give you the scoop here. I was talking with Eli, talking with Chad Bryant, that the unseen 11 o'clock hour meeting that we have here on the network every single night. One of these days we'll bring it to the air, and it will be great. We're working on a concept that will be out very soon for that 11 o'clock hour. But we were talking about guilty pleasure foods, because I was to smash on some cookies before the show. And listen, I'm working on fitness. I'm trying. I'm working on fitness. I posted something on my Instagram 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I started my fitness journey. And I didn't, really notice results. And then I looked at the photo from 2 years ago, and then I posted something last night. And I'm like, oh, the cheeks, a little bit down. I'm working, I'm looking like KC from Love Island. Gotta get the smack lips. By the way, did I tell you I apologize because KC's going to win the show. KC, they're going to win the show. Okay, but and with that being said, I did not see tonight's episode. I'm going to watch tonight's episode of Love Island either after tonight's midnight run or tomorrow. But we were talking about snacks, and then corn nuts came up. Now, I say this, corn nuts is not a sponsor of this show, but Chad came up with the idea, like maybe we could do like old school commercials and just have a show. We might do this in the middle of the summer when there's, all-star break where nothing's going on. We just, react to different commercials. Way back in the day, I did a show when I was starting to like really, really break out. This was like the early years of college. I did a show and we didn't have video. I literally did the show. I think it was from the old Blog Talk Radio forum. And I did the show talking on my phone. Hey, welcome to the show. And it sounded like a phone call for 30 minutes to an hour. I did that. And, we went extensively on topics such as the Browns QB battle and Oprah Winfrey's final show. We did stuff like that. Okay. So I said back then, I don't know anything about commercials, but I need a break. It's a 30-minute show. I do need a break. And I came across this particular commercial, and I haven't listened to this commercial in years. Now, Eli and Chad might have remembered these commercials, but these are real. This is a real radio ad. This is real. This is a real radio ad. And and it played on the airs from Corn Nuts. And I don't know why I need to explain it. We can just play it for you. Eli, let me know when I can hit play on the video, unless I have to do it on my end. Oh, no, it's ready. All right, here we go. This is from Corn Nuts. This is from a campaign from the late 90s. Take a listen.
This is a song about corn nuts, an intensely crunchy snack. It's not about anything else.
Go to your room and lock the door, cause when you try it once, you want to try it some more. Size doesn't matter, and that's a fact. It might be small, but it's a big impact. Bust a nut. Grab a bag of corn nuts and bust a nut. They're lightly toasted and hard as hell. Enjoy yourself, we won't tell. Everybody does it, they like it a lot. You can do it in school, just don't get caught. It takes a few minutes if you don't delay. Take your time, make it last all day. Bust a nut. Grab a bag of corn nuts and bust a nut. They're lightly toasted and hard as hell. Enjoy yourself, we won't tell.
Corn Nuts, an intensely crunchy corn snack, comes in 7 nut-busting flavors.
I can't believe that played. That was a real, I looked it up. That was from 1998. It played a ton on the radio. Couldn't believe it. They have a couple other ones. The other ones shouldn't be played till 3 a.m. This is craziness. I just thought about, I'm like, what are we doing? So, hey, if you want to enjoy 7 nut-busting flavors, get some corn nuts, and you'll be set and ready to go. Speaking of, oh boy, that's not a good transition. Let's move on to the Browns. You may choose corn nuts over the Cleveland Browns. Who said, hold up, I'm sorry. Mr. Eli Moon, I'm going to make you laugh here today. Come on to the screen, buddy. Because, listen. I'm not here to I'm not going to ask for your hard-hitting analysis on corn nut advertising.
Okay.
But that ad right there, and I played a few others before the show.
Did.
Doing the 11 o'clock hour that analytically aired live on the Inside Edge Network.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it? Does that make you want to go to the convenience store and buy some corn nuts?
Probably not AA, but I will say
they used to give it out on plane rides, on flights, and that was my first experience to having corn nuts. I'm like, they're not terrible. I mean, for a flight, I'm like, so it's funny when I go to the airport, I'm always tempted because they got Auntie Anne's, they got all these great options, and I'm like, I'll just wait for some corn nuts or the trail mix option on the flight. We'll thug it out till San Antonio or wherever I gotta go. But yeah, no, I don't think it made me want corn nuts like right this instant. I will tell you this, though, all that food talk during the 11 o'clock hour has prompted me to heat up a mac and cheese in the microwave that I'm waiting for. I can currently smell cooking. Yeah, I'm starving, Double A.
We were just talking. I'll share with all of you guys. You could do whatever you want, but man, there's something about having food or having that guilty pleasure snack after midnight, dog. There's something about it. I told Chad about Gyro George. We were talking about that. Oh my Lord. I'm like, the worst thing about my setup here at our studios at home base. I love my setup. It's great. It's fantastic. I can look at a window that doesn't open. I can look at, the other computer where we're working on the Side Hustle Wrestling podcast, which will be out in 6 hours.
Yep.
I can look at, my television flowers and coffee cups and stuff. But the worst part is over there. That room.
Sure do.
That room is danger.
Yeah. No, it is. It is. I literally, after right before we had 10 minutes before we got on air, Chad, dipped out, and I'm sure he's watching this right now. But I'm like, dang, what do I have to heat up right now? What can I heat up right now to make? Papa Moon and I had some leftover potatoes, and we had hot dogs earlier today. That was fire. But I was like, I need more. So now I got mac and cheese waiting for me during the break. So a little hot sauce on it and call it a day.
Man. And I try not to take advantage of DoorDash. I try. I usually don't.
They probably got some deals. They probably got some deals right now.
I know. But I know people. I've talked with people who have dropped hundreds of dollars on DoorDash after midnight.
Yeah, I believe it.
Remember, I don't know if you remember this. Last year, we were here, Kyle and might have been Jake, Rico.
Yes, Rico. Yep,
Rico, our buddy Rico. You saw Rico on the show, Ruler Sports Minute, and we were chilling outside the apartment. And at some point late, I'm like, yeah, I'm a few drinks in. Let me go ahead and get up that Taco Bell real quick.
Yeah, buddy.
Smash. I watched that DoorDash driver pull up, and I'm like, here you go. I ate that burrito on the walk back. That food was gone before I sat down.
Yeah, I have been there before. When they took away the dollar mini quesadillas and stuff, that's where it kind of wrecked my heart because I used to instead of getting the regular quesadilla, but I'm gonna mix and match, get 2 or 3 of the shredded minis, quesadillas and get a few cheesy roll-ups, and then my stomach hates me in the morning. But you know what? That's the morning's problem. That's morning Eli's problem. Right now we're talking the evening Eli, and I don't have any problems.
No, I mean right now it's not. And I told you guys before, it's almost scary how much my body has adapted to the night shift.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what sleep is anymore. I kind of just lay down for a minute and then I wake back up. I'm like, all right, time to rock. But yeah, it's at 3 a.m. Mac and cheese. I guess tonight it'll be around 12:31 a.m. Mac and cheese is going to be delicious. Oh yeah, it's going to be delicious. I'm gonna put some hot sauce on me, a little barbecue sauce.
See, I'm one of those. Listen, we'll talk Browns next segment. You ain't missing nothing. I'm one of those. Do you eat dinner food for breakfast and then smash on bacon and sausage and eggs for dinner?
Yeah, I mean, I do a corned beef sandwich sometimes. So it's funny. We went out to lunch, breakfast. It was what it was called. Went out with my sister and my brother-in-law and my niece and nephew. Papa Moon was there. Papa to his grandbabies and I'm there. Obviously, we're all out there. We had a mom and pop's location. I can't think of the name of the place, but somewhere nearby. And we're sitting there. And everybody's ordering I want, the traditional breakfast. I want an omelet. I want this. And I'm like, oh my goodness, they have corned beef sandwiches literally on this menu. And it was 10:30, 11, AA. So it's when is your distinction of when breakfast ends? For McDonald's, it appears 10:30, 11 is when theirs ends. So I just got the corned beef sandwich, threw some mustard on. I know you're not a mustard guy, but I threw some mustard on it. So took out the Thousand Island. And I had some fries at 10:30, 11 in the morning. But then I'll smash, to your point, eggs, bacon, and all that stuff. Yesterday, that's where the leftover potatoes came from. We had a mix. We do like a little medley of potatoes, eggs, and bacon all in one bowl. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good. Is it like just like bacon bits? Or you just like.
Yeah, you could break it up. Yeah. But Pops left the bacon, full length for like if you just want to have a snack. So we had like some leftover today. That was my morning, like just eating some bacon and maybe a little bit of Funyuns. I'm not if you want health, diet stuff like that, that's not me. I'm going to tell you what.
And that's not this show. We're not going to give that to you. Absolutely not. If you're up at 12:15 at night, you are not getting healthy advice on food. Absolutely not.
My mom used to work at, shout out Mama Moon. She used to work at Progressive Field at the one of the concession stands there. She was helping pay for my tuition. I was at a private school, and they had a work thing where like if you worked, it went towards helping tuition. So shout out Mama Moon and Pop Moon for getting me through school, getting me to this point. But my mom worked in the concession stand AA where they served deep fried Twinkies, deep fried cookie dough, deep fried Oreos. Bro, she would bring them home. And she'd be like, tonight I brought you home deep fried cookie dough, a few of them. I'm like, oh my goodness, bro. Dangerous games were being played.
Listen, I know we're in like barbecue rib burn off season across Northeast Ohio. I went to one in Akron years ago. I don't know if they still have it. They probably do. They had this deep fried Oreos by the University of Akron. Dip it in the sauce. Dip it in whatever the frosted sauce. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And like they give it to you hot too. So like you Dude.
Dude.
Let me get back to your point though that you made a couple moments ago.
Yes.
Because to me, this one issue is pretty darn serious. Why does fast food end breakfast at 10:30?
Yeah.
Now, listen. I understand why you don't. Most places you don't. And we're just talking fast food. We're not talking actual like restaurants, a sit down restaurant. I get it. You can't have the grills, at the same temperature. Like it's a difference between cooking a burger and cooking eggs. And I know they use the same fryer and things like that. I get that. My point though, that's
It's crazy. It's crazy, AA, because it's like, okay, I get it. I've worked in fast food. I've worked at McDonald's before. And I never worked the breakfast shift because I just didn't feel like getting up that early. And also, they were giving me like 12 hours a week. So, look, different time in my life. Okay.
You had other priorities. Like, no, I'm good. Forget about this.
Different time in my life. But I'll tell you this. I just couldn't believe that, like, the 10:30 rule. Like, and some are different. Some will be like, 10 or, 11. It's like, depending on franchisees. But, like, I just don't get it, man. It's like, okay, shut it down for a minute, then run it to 11, shut it down, and we reopen at 11:30 for lunch.
Well, the problem is, hold up. Kid Cowboy 66, he's a chef. I'm talking directly to you. Thank you for supporting our network.
Yes.
Okay. Why does fast food, a chef, I don't know your restaurant experience. Why does fast food shut down breakfast at 10:30 and probably earlier? Because I went to another establishment. I'm not going to mention their names. I don't want to put them down. They're pretty good. But I rolled up to their establishment before I left for Chicago. And I rolled up there at like 10:05. And the dude's outside switching over the menu.
Yeah. Dude, I get it. One of the most humbling experiences of my life. I know we got to go break here in a moment. But one of the most humbling experiences of my life, AA. I was on tour performing. I opened up for Paul Wall out there, South by Southwest in Texas, and we were driving around, and we would get back to Killeen, back to my bro, his house, and we'd get back there. That's where we were staying. We could be driving an hour to 3 hours from where we were coming from, Austin, Houston, wherever, San Antonio. And we pulled up the first night, right after shows, and we pulled up to McDonald's, and we pulled up, and we're like, oh man, and the bros are talking, like, I know my bro wants, a quarter pounder, those 10-piece nugget, and he's like, what are you thinking, bro? And the other bro's like, man, I'm thinking, double cheese, we pull up, he's like, I'm thinking this, pull up, they go, good morning. What would you like for breakfast? At 3 or 4 or it may have been a little bit before 5, whatever. Bro, it was the most humbling experience. Why does breakfast start so early? I get 5 a.m. I think most people that start first shift at 3, 4 in the morning would rather have a quarter pounder with cheese than a breakfast sandwich. And maybe I'm crazy.
I disagree. No, I disagree. Because when I worked and none of them was like open, but when I worked the morning shift at the Fan, I much rather have breakfast food. Okay, I get that breakfast food costs too much. See, we're gonna follow the clock. We're gonna take a break. I gotta respond to that. We're gonna take a break, and then I promise we'll get to the QB stuff. I promise. But I have some thoughts on that comment and the breakfast stuff, because I hate the fact that this is kind of triggering to me. Like, breakfast food is fantastic. Like Taco Bell. None of the I could be wrong. Anybody who's listening here locally in Cleveland, Northeast Ohio, please speak up on the chat if I'm wrong. I don't think there's a single Taco Bell in Northeast Ohio that serves breakfast, and that is a crime. That is a crime. They have. You don't know.
They do in Parma. I'm pretty sure they do in Parma.
I don't know if they do. Half of them say breakfast, but then they open at 9:00 and they're serving a grilled stuffed burrito. I don't want beef. I don't want beef at 9:00. I want sausage. I want one kind of meat, not the other. I want sausage and chopped bacon.
No corn nuts, though. No corn nuts.
I don't want corn nuts at 9. I don't want corn nuts at 9 a.m. Okay, I want chopped sausage and bacon, and something. We can't fire up the eggs. I don't need eggs. I mean, they're cool. I don't need them. Yeah. Half y'all mess up eggs anyway.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, dude, you got to trust people with eggs. You get the shells. All right, let's go to break double.
This egg is extra crunchy. Oh boy, that's a problem. We got more Midnight Run coming up after the break.
Find us on InsideEdgeNetwork.com for the latest information on your favorite shows, personalities, and network partners. Plus, guess what? We have a merch shop. That's right, we have network polos, t-shirts, champion jackets, hats, and bottles. Rep the network. Every purchase supports independent sports and entertainment media. Use the QR code on your screen right now to check out InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That's InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Clean energy, bold flavors, and no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Whether you're starting your workday or getting ready to exercise, Dubby Energy helps you lock in and focus. With over 15 flavors to choose from, you can't miss. Order Dubby Energy right now by using the QR code on your screen and use the promo code InsideEdge10 to receive 10% off your order. Dubby Energy, your energy-focused sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
Welcome back to Midnight Run here on the Inside Edge Network. Remember to like and subscribe at Inside Edge Net across all of our social media platforms. We have live programming 7 days a week across, covering Northeast Ohio sports, entertainment, mental health, news. Got you all covered at Inside Edge Net and, of course, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. I promise, give me like 5 minutes. We're talking Browns, okay? It's not going anywhere. We got some sound to play coming up in a little bit. But I'm sorry. This topic about the lack of breakfast food at fast food restaurants is kind of triggering to me, okay? I blame Eli and Chad because they were talking about food during our analytical 11 o'clock hour on the network, okay? And I was smashing out cookies. And I thought about breakfast food late because ever since I started doing this show 5 days a week, like it was cool when I was doing 3 days, but ever since we've been doing 5 days a week for like the last month or so, at like 2 or 3 in the morning, I have the urge to just grab my keys and go down the street and get something to eat. Okay. Now I got Kid Cowboy 66. He's making me hungry because I've been reading his comments off screen during the break. But I want to bring up the point we talked about before the break. I'm like, what's going on? How come fast food restaurants don't make breakfast food a priority? And yeah, the food distributors, they charge too much for breakfast. And listen, I respect all the business answers. And this is the tricky part about all this. So that, the fast food restaurant I was referencing, right? If you work at Amazon or you work at a business, first shift, and it's 10:30, do you prefer to have breakfast or lunch? I remember when I worked at the Fan, as much as I wanted to stop, there was just too much for me to do. Like, produce for Ken and Lima, Ken Carmen, Anthony Lima, and we're going to actually play sound from that show coming up in a little bit. But in the morning, there was so much that you had to do. I didn't have time to stop at any open restaurant, which probably would have only been Gyro George, and pick up food and eat it. Because as soon as I got into work, you had, showed up to the job, you had to sit there and get the show ready to go, make sure, the guys are set up and, for success, all that stuff. And then the first time I would eat anything was like 8 o'clock. We had a convenience store downstairs from the station. And that was the first time I'd eat. And then by 10:30, 11 o'clock, you're probably wanting a lunch. But I will tell you that at that place, I don't know if it's still there. I think it is. At the station, there was a Yours Truly's, and they have all-day breakfast. And I would smash on the all-day breakfast. I really would. I would smash. I see Kid Cowboy 66 as an omelet fan. Or worked the omelet station. I'm all in on omelets. I'm all in on the meat omelet. All in on it. But I think that's because Eli, I brought up this point before the break. Taco Bell breakfast bangs.
Yeah.
She bang. Oh,
She
baby.
bangs. Taco Bell. Get a breakfast crunch wrap.
Yeah.
Not a sick. You're gonna have to verify that Parma location because I think there are some Taco Bells that will say breakfast and they don't serve it. Like again, who wants a regular beef taco at 9:00 in the morning?
Well, I just verified right here. It says you can find breakfast at either of these local spots. You get on Pleasant Valley in Parma or Broadview Road, AA. So I'll try it out this week. Those aren't too far from me, so I'll try them out. Papa Moon's off this weekend, so
That's far from me. Where the hell am I gonna go?
About 15 minutes. You might just have to venture off before the morning. You might just have to get up a little earlier.
Listen, I got a long way to go to get to work. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a long, listen, don't laugh. I have a long walk to get to work. You understand?
Yeah.
You understand that there's no way I'm going to take extra time to travel. Where do I have to go? Pleasant Valley?
Or Broadview Road. About
Oh,
15
hell
minutes, like 15. We're not too far from each other. I mean, I get it. How bad do you want the breakfast?
I want it pretty badly, but I can't. We have a Taco Bell around the corner.
But they don't serve breakfast.
What about Garfield? Does Garfield serve breakfast?
Let's see.
Garfield Heights.
Let's see.
Do they serve breakfast?
Let's see. Does Garfield Heights? My search for Google tonight is like, "Are you hungry, pal?"
Oh yeah, you're gonna get a bunch of food ads after this show.
It says on Turney Road. It says Turney Road serves it.
All right, we're gonna find out. Well, we're gonna find out this weekend. We're gonna find out.
All right, sounds good.
Also, Crackle Barrel is going out of business. Yeah, nobody's. What are we doing? We need to do it. All right, this is the one. Unfiltered. They do. Kyle does all the serious stories. I get one serious story a week. Here's mine. We need to do a better job supporting our breakfast companies. Boom.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yep.
Support your fried eggs.
Yeah.
As much as you support fried chicken, support fried eggs.
Yep. I agree, pal. I agree.
End of story. We need quality breakfast food to be around. They just shut down the IHOP. I know we're talking fast food, but
I was about to say, yeah,
I wanted to go to IHOP, and then it's closed. Like close.
IHOP is kind of gone downhill, unfortunately. Since when I remember being a kid. First Watch seems to be the big thing right now. First Watch is, they got some. You want some really good
First Watch? I think there's a location. I think in Macedonia.
You gotta go. We might have to go get some breakfast here this weekend or something, bro. They slap. Oh, I'm getting hungry, W. Let's get into some Browns.
Hey, call up our team. Let's see if we can go to First Watch. Okay, do we have to talk Browns?
Yeah.
Did I put it in? I put it in the rundown. I did. I put it in the rundown. Okay. Mary Kay Cabot was on this morning with Ken Carman and Anthony Lima, and here's what she had to say about the quarterback battle.
Mary Kay, we know what the coach has said prior about wanting to solidify a depth chart, earlier rather than later, here after OTAs. Have you changed your mind at all? Do you think he will name a starter, or do you think it'll remain ambiguous heading into training camp?
Well, at the golf outing on Monday at Firestone, he made it clear that even if he had his own QB depth chart set in his mind by the end of minicamp next week, he wasn't necessarily going to announce it. I think they were still working through a strategy about that. I do believe that Deshaun Watson is going to talk at some point next week, so that will be the first time we hear from him since he ruptured that Achilles in October of 2024. But I don't know if Todd is going to be ready to say, hey, our QB depth chart is such and such. I actually think now he's backing off of that and hedging on that, and I don't know if they're going to do that or not.
Yeah, that's big, and that's courtesy of 92.3 The Fan here in Cleveland. And listen, we talked about it. You have to – the process has to be played. You have to let it play out. Now, I will say this. I do think perhaps the approach is a bit different now with Myles Garrett off the team. I'm not saying that the Browns – now, here's where I will differ from my friends and fellow colleagues, even here at the network and across across the fan base here in Cleveland. I don't think just because the Browns went young that they have a garbage team. I think there's a ton of talent. I think there's a ton of young, undeveloped talent on this team, on both offense and defense, that if they have a quarterback to operate, they could do some things. I really do believe that. Now, on June 5th, yeah, the defense is ahead, but the defenses during camp should be ahead. They should be. They should be. You need to test your offense, but that's every camp across the country. Defenses at this point, they're ahead because you have a ton of things to install. You have a ton. And, Todd Monken, this is a young offense. With that being said, we talked about this. We had Garrett Bush at the barbershop. We'll play his clip in just a second. He was on this show, and listen, Mary Kay a few weeks ago, and I have nothing but love and respect for Mary Kay. She treated me well, and like I said, there will be no Mary Kay slander. None on this show. Sorry, you have to go somewhere else. Okay, I think she does a great job reporting all that stuff. But the report of Deshaun Watson was light years ahead. He could have been. He could have been simply because he knows more NFL football than Shedeur Sanders. And Deshaun Watson is going to look great without pads. My concern is what happens with Deshaun Watson once the speed of practice and the speed of game action ramps up. He can look great at 7-on-7s. Even in 11-on-11s against the scout team, he could look great. What happens when the ones are out there? And that's kind of what Mary Kay was talking about. What happens when the ones are out there? To further make that point, Garrett Bush joined me a couple weeks back, and I think this clip is very important to understand the foundation of what we as Browns fans should be looking forward to as we evaluate this summer. This is G. Bush with me right here on Midnight Run a few weeks back.
An influencer like he is, but he's even cut down on a lot of that. It's about all business. So to me, I think the great part about it is Coach Prime, he talked to me about 20 minutes about just football, and you could tell the level of competitiveness he has. He's like, man, we excited. We excited. I'm gonna tell you what, grown gonna do his thing. Grown gonna go out here and do his thing. You know what I'm saying? All that other bull jive they was talking. Grown, he ready to go. He ready. And I said, all right, Coach, we ready to see it. And I think the exciting part about this is, and me, I come from a football background. I call it the Hunger Games.
Right.
Listen, one person is fighting for his career, and that's Deshaun Watson. The last time we seen him, it wasn't nice. He got the injuries, he got the shoulder. He's fighting for his career to stay in this league. Shedeur Sanders, he's fighting for the opportunity to get rid of that stigma, to continue to show that he is a franchise quarterback, and to put that on tape in a consistent manner. And you got a new head coach, and he don't got no picks. He come in talking. Todd Monken don't care nothing about what they was talking about before. And now you got those guys in the same room battling it out. To me, you're going to get the best version of Deshaun Watson. You're probably going to get the best version of Shedeur Sanders, and that's all you can ask for in a quarterback.
No, that's true. I mean, that's all you could ask for, first off. And I think you have a situation where both guys and head coach are desperate. They're absolutely desperate. We're not going to do it here. We'll do it next segment. I think the Jim Schwartz comments are vital in that conversation, the different context. Again, we'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. But here, in terms of who should start, Brown, for me, I'll answer the question. I think Shedeur Sanders is the best quarterback in that room. I really do. I think you give him talent, you surround him with talent, which they have. He's the best quarterback. I do like the fact that Coach Monken is kind of opening this up. Now, with that being said, will I come on these airwaves and throw a fit if they just named Deshaun Watson the starting quarterback? No, if they name him during training camp. I will throw a fit if they name him the starting quarterback tomorrow, next week, before August 1st. I will throw a fit because what have you seen? What have I seen from Deshaun Watson in the last 6 years that proves to you and I that he looks great in full speed with pads? The other clip that we didn't have, but the clip we just played, I actually forgot about that clip, and that's huge, about the Hunger Games. Both guys are desperate. And I like that Shedeur Sanders, because let's be clear real quick about Shedeur Sanders. As much as I like Shedeur Sanders, he was passed up last season under Kevin Stefanski by Dylan Gabriel. That's pretty disrespectful. Can't get passed up by Dylan Gabriel. And he walked into camp and was passed up by Deshaun Watson. Like, according to reports, they weren't even looking at Deshaun Watson's way. Or, I'm sorry, looking at Shedeur Sanders' way. They were looking right at Deshaun Watson. Hey, here we go. To Shedeur Sanders' credit, by all accounts, he has fought in the 11 on 11s. He's getting more of the reps. Now he has to show out. Shedeur Sanders, and I want to make this perfectly clear. Shedeur Sanders has to work twice as hard, maybe 3 times as hard as Deshaun Watson if he wants to be the week 1 starter for the Cleveland Browns. Shedeur Sanders has the Deshaun Watson contract working against him. He has Deshaun Watson, the practice player, who looks like a stud, a Pro Bowler, working against him. And let's be frank, because, again, G. Bush kind of talked about it. Shedeur Sanders, his name kind of works against him. There's the expectation. Oh, he has to deliver like Deion, even though Shedeur Sanders has done everything right. But if you are a fan of Shedeur Sanders, all of a sudden, oh, he has clout, that kind of, no. Dude's out there playing football, but he has to continue to show it, and he has to work 2-3 times as hard. And the last point on Todd Monken has to win. Todd Monken's not getting another head coaching opportunity. This is it. He had to make concessions for Deshaun Watson. He had to lay out plans that some of the younger head coaching candidates said, I could wait a year. Todd Monken cannot wait a year. He has to win now. He has to win now. So with that understanding, why in the hell would you try to force Jim Schwartz to stay here? You'll hear what he had to say next.
Moser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Inside Edge Network's very own Ryan Moser and his wife, Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at MoserMomentsPhotography.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. MoserMomentsPhotography.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Whether searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at SportsMemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and players. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the SportsMemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee. Go to SportsMemorabilia.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. SportsMemorabilia.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
Welcome back to Midnight Run here on the Inside Edge Network. One final segment here with you until 1 o'clock a.m. here on the East Coast, 10 o'clock on the West Coast. I want to applaud Eli for taking his own advice for once. He always teases during his shows, during Inside Edge Prime Time. When we go to break, go ahead, get a snack, fire it up, be ready to go. And I get a text during the break from Eli saying I had to step away and grab some of that mac and cheese. And he's celebrating off camera. So I'm happy it worked out. What thumbs up? Was it good? Was it good? He's like, hell yeah. He's like, hell yeah, double. Man, listen, it's a game changer once you learn how to cook. Once you learn how to cook in there, oh, it's a game changer. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. I'm almost out of taco seasoning, by the way. We're almost out. We're going to debut we're going to play Jim Schwartz here in like 30 seconds. We're going to debut a new segment in the coming days. It's going to be moments that make you look like this. If you watch Love Island, you know, listen, this is how I look when I'm lacking funds in my bank account. This is how I look when I run out of cookies. This is how I look when I used to bring home bad grades. This is how I look when I was left on red. You sit there. Oh man, it'd be so bad. You sit there like, oh man. See, this is why most of us gonna die single. You sitting there, you know, because our whole generation is dependent on Tinder and stuff. We value our independence. That's why we're all gonna die single. Because you go sit here, you looking, oh, should hit send. Is she gonna respond? She's gonna respond, and you're just waiting. Yeah, nothing. Doors open, nothing. Ooh, I just want to explore new connections. We got to be too perfect on Tinder. What the hell's wrong with us? What is wrong with us? We gotta be. You got to put more effort on your Tinder resume than a job application. What are we doing? What is this? Are you sitting there looking, trying? Oh, everything's gonna work out. Nothing. Unbelievable. When Jim Schwartz thought he was going to get the head coaching job with the Cleveland Browns. All right, Eli, I actually need you for a couple seconds. I meant to ask you this off cam. I did not. Eli.
When Double A calls me to the screen and I'm not ready, I'm like,
bro. Oh man. Hold up. When you like all her photos and then nothing happens. I'm done.
oh no.
All that happened to Jim Schwartz. Back in January, he thought he was gonna get the head coaching job. They're interviewing all these candidates. And he's just waiting. And he didn't get it. Unbelievable. All right, Eli. I meant to ask you this off air. I didn't do it. It's my bad. All right, set this thing up. What happened?
Yeah, so Jim Schwartz was on the Ryan Ripken show. His first comment speaking after resigning as the Cleveland Browns defensive coordinator. And just had a lot of comments, Double A. In the clip's a little longer, he'll get into some things. Just talked about his reasoning for not, wanting to play ball and be the defensive coordinator for Todd Monken, how he felt about the Browns' decision, and just, his overall thoughts on everything. And it was just like a disgruntled, it just felt like a disgruntled stepdad or something. Like, he's like, they just don't, they're gonna choose me over him, or they got me more stuff for the holiday, and it just silly. I mean, and don't get me wrong, Jim Schwartz, he was a great guy. When he helped develop some players, he's helped this defense out. I do think this defense will take a little bit of a step back with the new defensive coordinator, no Myles, but I think it's overblown in terms of, well, he would have changed the offense. Okay, what would he have changed about the offense? Jim Schwartz, a known defensive guy. What would he have changed about the offense? Like, we've complained all offseason about how the offense has been stagnant and actually just ineffective under Kevin Stefanski at this point, last year. So we brought in an offensive guy. Was it the offensive guy we wanted? No, I guess other guys had, I had in mind Nate Shieldhouse from LA, or, Grant Yadinsky from Jacksonville. But this is what we've been dealt. It's an offensive guy. So how can you be mad? But Jim Schwartz was big mad, Double A, on the Ryan Ripken show.
Yes, he was. Let's take a look at it right now.
Yeah, I mean, it sort of is what it was. We had a lot of success on defense, and the Browns made a change at head coach, and they passed over me with all the success that we had and the ability that to develop players. Our best players had their best years, all those different things. And that was a decision they made. They wanted to go with an offensive guy. They chose Todd. I'm fine with that. They can make, decisions that they want to make, but they can't expect me to stay on board for that. Anybody that's in any business, you get passed over for a promotion when you've done a really, really good job in your job, and you think you were in line for that promotion. It's time to go. And Todd deserved his own guy. He doesn't, a forced marriage isn't going to work in the NFL. And, having command of the players and having command of the locker room, all those things are extremely important. And I didn't feel like I could do my job after getting passed over for the head coaching job. It sort of, just put me in a tough position. Hey, we want you to listen to this guy, but we didn't think, we didn't want to make him the head coach. So I made the decision to resign. and I have to sit out this year
All
as
right,
a
Eli, let's
result.
cut this off.
But
Let's cut this off. That's enough.
I think anybody that's
That's enough. We cut that off. This is what happened. Okay, this is what happened. The man didn't get it. I will say this, though, all kidding aside. I will say this. I thought it was a bad move by the Haslams and, Jimmy Haslam I didn't like the approach of the head coaching in terms of, hey, whoever the head coaching candidates are, Jim Schwartz is your defensive coordinator. You can't have it both ways. The records are what they are. Jim Schwartz, all kidding aside, he said nothing wrong. He thought that, his team did a great job defensively. They did break records. I'm not saying their defense was flawless. If you think they were flawless, go back and watch the Minnesota Vikings game in London last season. But that's besides the point. It was a record-breaking defense. And, yeah, you thought Jim Schwartz had it ready to go. Because, again, the reason why a forced marriage like that doesn't work, go back to the guy we just traded to Los Angeles, Myles Garrett. All right, new head coach comes in. Whether, Todd Monken comes in. Todd Monken says something. Myles Garrett, Jim, what do you think? This doesn't work. It's promotions. That's just how it is. I mean, so Jim Schwartz has to sit out a year. It's honestly, it's kind of crappy how the Browns handled it. It really is. Because I would have, hey, listen, it didn't work out. Give him the common courtesy. I know you have to fulfill a contract. Let him. I don't know if he didn't have the option to get let go from his contract or not. Like, I don't know if it was an option. But don't hold the man hostage for a year. Let him, let him out of his contract and let him coach somewhere else. Then again, though, maybe he's just at home collecting a check and, and money and stuff. He will be coaching in 2027, right? Like, it's not a case that he's not going to be coaching at all. He will be coaching in 2027. Okay. I don't expect this to happen in 2027. I don't expect that to happen, okay? It's not like my dating scene, okay? Something's going to happen. Something will be open, and he'll be fine, okay? Listen. Boy, this show was something. We're out of time. We're out of time. We're keeping that in for – that was courtesy of Peacock. All 20 times we played that. But for our entire team here at the Inside Edge Network, for Eli was supposed to have tonight off from this show. He said, that's okay, I'll work this show, but I'm forcing him to be off tomorrow. He will be off tomorrow unless, again, he feels like working the show again. I'm not going to say no, but wake up tomorrow morning or later this morning. We got the Side Hustle Wrestling podcast debuting in a few hours, and Inside Edge Morning Show with our guy Omar. He's going to be back with you 9 a.m. Omar Klossel, 9 to 11 each and every single weekday morning right here on the Inside Edge Network, on top of all your great programming on Filter with Kyle Cornell, Inside Edge Primetime, and my show, Midnight Run, right here. For all of us here, have a great night. Either go to bed or go down the street and buy some breakfast, I guess. Just don't end up, again, like this guy. I've done that, by the way. I've shown up to a place and they weren't open. I was livid. Okay, we're done. Good night.